doctor who thought the visions might be stress-induced. Robles ran a collection agency in Los Angeles, and the hours were long, the debtors argumentative. A few weeks later, Rubin started suffering seizures. He went to see a doctor and thus ordered an MRI, which revealed a ghostly white orb on his left frontal lobe. The diagnosis was brain cancer. Only 36 years old, Rubin was told he might not live to see his 38th birthday. Horrified, Robles said he thought constantly about God, but his crisis was practical as well as existential. Over the next year and a half, surgeons operated on his brain 3 times, excising much of the cancer as they safely could. The side effects of the operations left Robles barely able to walk and unable to speak more than a word or two at a time. He shuttered the collection agency. His wife left him, and Robles daily needed help, squeezed into his mother's Chihuahua-filled apartment. The medical bills were mounting, and Robles was worried. Though he believed God would provide for him in the afterlife, what he desperately needed until then was money. Ron Escobar, a close friend of Robles, went to Carol Fielder, an insurance expert, for help. Fiedler saw that there was no vacation home or Google stock to unload, but Robles did have a life insurance policy for $500,000. Life insurance is designed to benefit the living, a spouse or heirs, not those who perish. But Fiedler, who owned the firm called Innovative Settlements, knew that a life insurance policy is an asset that can be resold to a friend or stranger, just as a car, boat, or house can. In a transaction known as viatical settlement for terminally ill patients, or life settlement for everyone else, the person selling his insurance gets an immediate cash payment. The buyer in exchange is named as the beneficiary and pays the premiums until the insured person dies. Life no longer afforded Robles a traditional way to make money, but to the right investor, Fiedler advised his imminent death was worth a great deal. Selling your life and selling a house is more common than you think. The seller puts a listing on the market, prospective buyers do the research and get inspections. There are offers and counter-offers until the seller accepts a bid. The seller doesn't literally peddle his own life, of course, but his life insurance policy. The distinction is in many ways moot, however, as the sales value is inextricably linked to a cold-eyed estimation of how much longer the seller has to live. In the case of Robles' policy, a life settlement company in Georgia, Habersham Funding, expressed interest. Escobar shipped off 6 boxes worth of Robles' medical records, thousands of pages in all, to Habersham. The firm in turn analyzed the records and also had them scrutinized by an external company specializing in life expectancy analysis. Fiedler's recollection is that the reports confirmed the grim prognosis and that Robles had less than 2 years left to live. Fiedler, for her part, tried to convince Habersham that Robles was knocking on death's door. The sooner Robles died, the fewer premiums the buyer would have to pay and the greater the potential value of his life insurance policy. I would never lie, but my job is to make my clients look as bad as possible, Fiedler says. Habersham opened its bidding at $250,000. You've got to give us more money than that, Fiedler recalls, yelling during a phone negotiation. This guy is really sick. The company bumped its offer to $305,000. Fiedler accepted and the stakes were set. The buyer's profit would be $500,000 insurance payout upon Robles' death, minus the $305,000 settlement and whatever the company paid in premiums. Escobar, meanwhile, was hoping that his friends could beat the grim odds. I told Rubin, look, they're betting that you're going to die, you're betting that you'll live. Betting on when someone can die can seem so creepy that it's hard to believe a practice is legal. Sure, people pay good money to buy life insurance policies, so that perhaps maybe they should confer the right to sell them as well. But the freedoms of ownership are not unlimited, especially when it comes to anything related to life and limb. Possession of and control over what happens to your own body is a fundamental human right. Nonetheless, that can stop culture from banning prostitution, organ sales, or for-profit surrogate parenting. The justification for such infringements upon bodily sovereignty is that people should be protected from financial incentives to harm themselves. And you could argue that a life settlement creates just such an incentive. A potential recipient, for instance, could try to win a larger settlement by offering a guarantee. If I'm not dead in, say, 5 years, I promise to kill myself so that you can collect insurance money. That situation is admittedly far-fetched, but history has shown that when there's a payday offer for someone's demise, unscrupulous people will step in to hurry death along. In 16th and 17th century England, for example, it was legal to take a life insurance policy on a complete stranger. And as historian Sharon Ann Murphy wrote, these speculative life policies too often resulted in the murder of the insured. There are no known cases of murder to inflict a life settlement linked insurance payout. The financial practice originated not as a criminal scheme, but as a way to help the terminally ill. In the late 1980s, people infected with AIDS often had little time to live and a great deal of need for money. In response, financial planners established a viable business. Flyers went up at gay bars and clubs encouraging people to sell their life insurance policies for quick cash. Some financial planners even trolled hospital wards to find customers. As the 1990s drew to a close, brokers realized that the thinking had been too limited. The investors who had started this whole industry realized the customer doesn't need to be someone who is terminally ill with HIV, says John Kramer, a life settlement broker in Southern California. They could be anyone with age or health consideration that shortens life expectancy. Rebranded and redefined, the life settlements business grew swiftly, reaching $12 billion in transactions by 2007. The recession had since walloped the industry, as well as publicized cases of fraud in which unscrupulous brokers persuaded people to take out life insurance policies expressly for the purpose of reselling them a couple of years later. Only $3.8 billion worth of policies changed hands in 2010, but insiders hope that the business will ultimately surpass its previous high. There are $18 trillion worth of active life insurance policies in the United States alone, and very few people even know they can sell their policies. The public awareness is next to nil, says Clark Hogan, the managing director of Opulent Capital, a life settlements brokerage in Southern California. The industry is in its infancy. Advocates of life settlements say that they offer fiscal relief in hard times, especially to seniors who have retirement portfolios have tanked. We need to be singing at the tops of our voices that selling your life insurance is an option, says Scott Page, president of the Lifeline Program, a large settlement company. For potential investors, meanwhile, the pitch is that settlements offer a safe harbor. Let the Dow rise, let the Dow fall. A death payment is an uncorrelated asset whose timing bears almost no connection to the mood swings in the market. In addition, both sides participating in the settlement transactions are winners. The policy seller is paid up front and the buyer is paid even more. Both parties are playing with house money, that of the insurance company, and the only question will be how it will be divvied up. For all the supposed benefits, settlements still strike people as creepy. They invert the traditional incentives of life insurance. Insurance companies have always had an interest in you, the policyholder, living as long as possible, so they collect more premiums. Generally, you also want to live a long time for obvious reasons, but a settlement means someone hits the jackpot when you die, and the sooner that happens, the more money that person makes. Clark Hogan represents people who want to sell their life insurance policies. To find new clients, he cold calls financial planners, accountants, attorneys, and insurance agents. Hey, good afternoon, Clark Hogan here, he said one afternoon at the end of last year. I'm wondering if you ever had a client surrender a life insurance policy and if you considered a life settlement instead. Sellers like Hogan say that while it may seem wrong to force strangers to profit from your demise, settlements are resoundingly pro-consumer innovation. In a casino of life insurance, the game is rigged. The industry's profit model rely on the fact that more than 2/3 of customers lapse, stop paying premiums before dying, thus invalidating their policies before their beneficiaries can even collect a cent. People often have good reasons for doing this. A husband outlives his wife, the intended beneficiary. An elderly woman with a dwindling pension decides she needs more money for medical care now than her heirs will need it later. Policyholders have only one possible escape route beyond lapsing. If the policy has a redemption provision, the customer can sell it back to the insurance company for a tiny fraction of its full face value. But this option represents the prison of monophony, a marketplace with only one possible buyer. You wouldn't want to buy a Ford and turn around 10 years later and find out that the only entity you can sell it back to is the Ford, says Vince Graneri, the chief actuary at the life expectancy company 21 Services. Settlements let the consumer shop a policy to multiple buyers and potentially get anywhere from 2% to more than 60% of its face value. For most people, discovering that they can sell an asset whose value rivals that of their house is a joyful surprise. It's almost like finding money under the mattress, says John Yaker, former president of Quantum Life Settlements. Hogan's cold calls that day yielded 2 financial planners who offered to settle settlement cases his way, but receptive audiences aren't the norm. One planner he called dismissed life settlement brokers with an expletive. Hogan curled over towards the speakerphone as in abdominal distress, but replied in upbeat tones. This is the fight I have to win on behalf of the financially distressed life insurance policyholder, he said, to persuade them that there are legitimate buyers out there serving an industry that's trending towards legitimacy. Life settlements have a dubious past indeed, as relatively new, poorly understood, and until recently minimally regulated transactions, they have been prime terrain for fraud. The most notorious scheme even has its own acronym, STOLI, for Stranger Originated Life Insurance, which typically targets the elderly. I spoke with one couple, wealthy elderly retirees in Florida, who asked not to be named.